Hi, today we're going to talk about property inspections and we're going to understand how we can create PDF files for a property inspection form created in Notion. As you can see, this is a property inspection form that I have created in Notion on the background. And once all the details in this form are filled in and the user clicks on submit, the responses go to the responses side in this particular database. I want to create an automation system where I can create the PDF files on automation for every response that gets captured onto the database. For this, I will be using a tool known as PDF Output. PDF Output will help me create PDF files on automation with the help of a Google document and a Notion database. It can help us create reports, invoices, contracts, certificates, quotations, or any document that we can use in a business at scale on automation. So let's click on Create PDF and quickly sign in with one of our accounts, and then we will understand how the automation will work. With this setup, you can create PDFs unlimited times directly inside your Notion database. So it asks us two things, that is addition of a Notion database, which we're going to add from here. Then we need to add a Google document, which will be the source of the template file. And finally, we will be mapping all the properties of the Notion database onto the document, which will be used to create the PDFs on automation. So first, we need to add a Notion database over here. So let's click on the drop down and let's click on add Notion database. And this will allow us to create the database for our setup. So let's copy this database title which we have on our Notion workspace, and then let's click on next over here. It will give us two options. We can go with the default template. So this will create a duplicate copy of a Notion database onto our workspace, which will be used for testing purposes. But we do not want to test out anything. We want to add our own database. So click on select pages and click on select pages once again. And let's copy this once again and let's put it inside this search pages field. So it will search for the particular form in our workspace and we can add it right over here. Okay. So whenever you are looking to add any database, simply copy the database title and put it inside the search pages to add the database. Do not add any database by selecting this top level pages because it takes time to load the database and your experience will not be smooth. So my recommendation to you is always and always enter the database title inside the search pages to be able to add the database. Alongside this, if your database contains any relation or rollup properties, so let's say the property inspection form is connected to database A and database B through relation properties, you also need to add the database A and database B over here in the search pages. So make sure to add the main form as well as any connecting databases which are used inside the search pages to be able to add all the databases. In that way, the relation and rollup properties will appear on the PDF generated and it will be correctly created. Okay. So do not miss out on adding the relational databases, otherwise the relation and roller properties will not appear in the output. Having considered that, let's click on allow access. And now we will get access to the property inspection form, which we can use for the automation process. Let's wait for a few seconds. And if your particular form is not appearing over here, simply click on reload database, or you can refresh this page once over here to load the database correctly. Okay. So let me refresh it once again, and I will be able to see my particular form appear over here. So it has still not yet appeared. Let me try it once again. Sometimes it takes a while to load the database due to the nature of Notion API, and you can see it is appearing over here for me. So now when I click on this, if you have scrolled down, I will be able to see all the database properties appear over here one below the other. So whatever properties we have over here, it is already appearing over here in this list, which we can use to map onto the Google document, which we'll be adding now. So let's click on add Google document. We have two options. We can add an existing document that is on our drive. So if you click this option, it will allow us to add any existing document which we'll have on our drive for the setup. I do not have any existing document available, so I will simply click on add demo document and it will create me a demo document which I can use for this automation setup. This is quick and easy to create a PDF file, and I can modify it quickly as well. So let me remove this portion, and you can see it has automatically created me all the placeholders from the database. So we have like the electrical condition. So everything that you see inside double curly brackets placed over here are fetched from the database and it will be mapped to these properties over here. So we have, let's say, received by, which is already mapped to this particular column. Similarly, we have respondent, which is mapped to the respondent value over here. So when the PDF will be created, all these placeholders will be replaced with the values that we have in the corresponding columns in the database, and the PDF will be created from here. So as an example, the respondent value will be fetched from the respondent column. The property address will be fetched from the property address column that you will have over here. So let's see the property address. So we have the property address over here. So this will be mapped to that section and so on. If you want to manually add any properties, simply click on copy on any property. So let's say I want to add exterior condition. Just go to the document and use Control V or Command V on your keyboard anywhere to paste it. So you can use the shortcut key Control V or Command V and it will automatically paste the property onto the document. So you can go ahead and paste any property onto the document as per your choice and it will automatically be mapped. I do not need to do that as my mappings are already done. What I do need to do is I need to define the PDF file name. I want to create the PDF by the name of the particular, uh, let's say, received by field. Okay, or maybe you can look into different property. So let me see what all properties we have. So let's say I want to define the PDF file by the inspector's first name. Okay, so we have the first name available over here. So I can select inspector first name from this list and it will be created by the inspector first name. Okay, and if you scroll to the right side of the database, you will have these two additional columns. If you put it under ready to generate, then the PDF will be created only for those specific rows and it will be created in the PDF file section over here. So make sure to mark the records as ready to generate which you want to create as PDF and it will be stored in the PDF file section. So having considered all of this, let me click on download PDF now and the PDF file will be created right over here inside the PDF file section. It will also download the files onto the downloads folder and you can see it is downloaded onto my downloads folder and it is also created right over here. Let me click on this file and it will automatically open up this file with all the properties intact. Okay, so you can see all the placeholder values coming up over here, and if I open up the second record, it will also show me all the properties of the document. So you can see both the files have been created and the properties have been mapped correctly onto the document as it was needed. Okay, this creates the PDF completely in automation, and now what I can do is I can simply go back to this PDF output setup and I can click on setup Notion automation. Now this will automate the process of creating PDFs forever, which means I do not need to come back to PDF output ever again to create a PDF file. Everything is now automated. So whenever a user would submit any response from here and it gets added onto this particular database, all I need to do is click ready to generate and the PDF will automatically be created for me over here. This eliminates the need to juggle between PDF output and the database to create the PDFs. As every time a new response gets created, you can simply mark it as ready to generate and the PDF will be created right over here for your use case. So this is the beauty of using this tool, as everything happens in an automated manner and it removes the complexity of using PDF output again and again. I hope this explanation was clear to you. If you still have questions, use the chat bubble at the bottom of the page and send me a message with your queries, or you can use the contact section that we have at the bottom of the home page and you can send me an email with your issues on this. You even have an option to book a free demo session, so use this option to create a free demo session